Ron's Amazing Stories, the podcast where every episode takes you on a journey through captivating tales, thrilling adventures, and unforgettable moments.
It's amazing.
From heart-pounding mysteries to inspiring true stories, we'll bring you narratives that will spark your imagination and keep you on the edge of your seat. So sit back, relax, and get ready to explore the extraordinary. Because with Ron, every story is an amazing story.
That's amazing.
What's that you said?
Hello and welcome to Ron's Amazing Stories. I'm Ron, and today we've got something special lined up for Labor Day weekend. While most folks were grilling hamburgers, sneaking in one last trip to the lake, or, let's be honest, just taking a well-deserved nap, we're going to celebrate with a double feature that puts the labor back into Labor Day. Our first story comes from the legendary adventure series Escape. 3 Navy flyers find themselves stranded on a remote island in the South China Sea. What begins as a fight against the elements quickly takes a turn into the fantastic as they uncover a secret that's eerie. It's unsettling, and it just might make you rethink your next island vacation. Then we roll back the clock, way back to the 1870s. In 1936, Cavalcade of America first aired the story The Railroad Builders. This one is grounded in history and tells of the men who laid down the steel that united a continent. No fantasy here, just pure grit, sweat, and determination. 2 stories, one imagined, one real, but both speak to the courage and toil that Labor Day was created to honor. Our first tale aired on March 5th, 1958. It's called Conqueror's Isle, and it begins with a Navy bomber crew battling a typhoon in the South China Sea. Forced to ditch on an uncharted island, they believe the worst of their troubles are behind them. But then they meet Dr. Grove, and that's where things get strange. He introduces them to a hidden elevator and the next stage of human evolution. Sound like progress? Well, the catch is he sees our heroes as pets. Not exactly the warmest welcome. So settle in for Escape and the haunting tale, Conqueror's Isle.
Today we escape from reality with the tale of a Navy flyer who vanished from the face of the earth into a new world of the future, as Nelson Bond told it in his story, Conqueror's Isle.
You've got to believe this. It sounds utterly impossible, I know. It sounds crazy. That's why I'm here, sir. But it's the truth, and you've got to believe it. You've got to, sir. You've got to.
That's the way he started, almost as soon as I'd walked into his hospital room. He wasn't violent, you understand. There was no need for restraint. But his every action, every gesture was evidence of a psychotic condition. To be extremely charitable, battle fatigue. Well, anyway, it was an odd case. I was already acquainted, of course, with the history. Young man, graduate of Annapolis, lieutenant in the Fleet Air Arm, excellent record, citations for bravery and so forth. And toward the end of the war, he and his bomber crew disappeared over the South China Sea. Search failed to turn them up. They were, of course, presumed to be lost. And then a month ago, almost 4 years later, Lieutenant Brady was found by a Brazilian freighter drifting helplessly and nearly dead in a tiny life raft from the airplane. Curiously enough, his position was not far from that last reported by his radio operator 4 years ago. But when he was asked where he'd been, he gave a story so fantastic, so utterly unbelievable.
It's the truth, and you've got to believe it. You've got to, sir.
At ease, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm here to consult with you as a physician, not to order your cure as a superior officer. Now, suppose we ignore the braid while you tell me about it.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Where should I begin?
Well, it's your story. You know what it is you want me to believe. The trouble began, I understand, on your last bombing mission.
Yes, that's right. That's when my troubles began. The thing's been going on for much longer than that. Years, certainly. Decades, perhaps. Somebody has got to do something, Doctor. Time is racing by, and with every passing day, they grow stronger. I've got to make people understand.
Lieutenant, now, suppose you start at the beginning, with that unfortunate last flight.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I got a little... Well, then it was this way. We'd finished our mission, and we were starting for home. We were over the South China Sea, between the Philippines and Indochina, roughly off Palawan. And everything was peaches and cream. The Arden Alice was purring along like a dream, and I was sitting there chewing up a pack of lifesavers, thinking how good that can of cold beer was going to taste, when the intercom crackled in my ear.
Lieutenant, Jap freighter, 10 o'clock.
Huh? Yeah, you're right. Looks like a single tramp beating up the coast. You still got a Bertha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe we can have some fun. Red 4 to Mac. Red 4 to Mac.
Go ahead, Red 4.
Jap freighter, 10 o'clock.
Check.
We've still got a Bertha. How about it?
Why not? It's your party. Go ahead and good luck.
Roger and out. It was as easy as hitting a sitting duck. The long dive, the bomb release, the pull-out, the dull concussion. We laid it down her aft stack, and that Jap ship went up like a Roman candle.
Hey, nice going, Lieutenant. Right on the button.
That's one Jap we won't have to worry about anymore.
Lieutenant, we're hit.
Huh?
A piece of that Jap must have come up and hit us. We're spraying gas all over the Pacific out of the left wing tank.
Yeah, I see it now. Well, guys, get ready for a bath. We'll never make it back.
I object. It ain't Saturday night. Never mind. I always did want to take a ride on one of them little rubber boats.
No need to worry. The Navy takes care of its own. They'll be out to get us before we have a chance to get thirsty. Red 4 to Mac. Red 4 to Mac.
Nice going, fella.
Yeah, only it was a two-way deal. We're hit, Mac, losing gas fast.
Think you can make it?
Nope. It's a salt bath for us.
Sorry, fellas. Keep your radio on. Give your last position to base before you ditch it. They'll have a rescue party out in an hour.
Wilco.
See you tonight. Good luck. Over.
Roger, out. You see, there was nothing to it. It happened every day. With ships all over the Pacific, they'd have a destroyer sitting there when we came down. But a half hour later, when our gas was down to a few cupfuls and the rest of the squadron was long out of sight, an amazing thing happened. One minute the sky was clear and cloudless. The next minute we were surrounded by thunderheads, and a typhoon burst on us.
Holy cow, Lieutenant. Where'd this come from?
I don't know, but it's a Lulu. Fasten your safety belts. There's no telling what this'll do to us. It was a granddaddy typhoon, all right, but it lasted only a few minutes. Then we got out of it as miraculously as we'd come into it. And wonder of wonders, we were directly over a small island.
Well, what do you know? Take a look at that sight for sore eyes. Man, oh man, it looks mighty fine to me. What island is it, Lieutenant?
I don't know. I don't recognize it. And after the way we got tossed around back there, I haven't any idea of our position. We could be anywhere from the coast of China to the Philippines. Who knows?
Who cares? It's dry land.
Yeah, just in time. We're out of gas. Hey, Jack.
Yeah?
See if you can get a fix and radio our position. We're going down. We landed safely on a little strip of sandy beach. And only after we'd climbed out of the plane did we begin to have any misgivings.
What do you think, Skipper?
Well, it doesn't look like much, but
I don't see anybody. Not a sign of life.
I got a good look from topside coming down. There weren't any houses, nothing.
Still, you can't tell. They could be Japs. Or worse.
Headhunters, maybe.
We better stick together, stay close to the plane. Shouldn't be more than a few hours.
Oh, yeah, except...
Hey, what the...
Hold it.
Hello there.
A white man?
Hey, what is
brother.
this?
Keep your eyes open. It might be a trap.
But he's a white man. He speaks English and he's not armed.
No, I don't see any guns.
Just the same, watch it.
Welcome, gentlemen, welcome. We saw you land, so I hurried out to see if I could be of any assistance. May I introduce myself? I'm Dr. Grove.
I'm Lieutenant Brady, and these are my men. Radio man Kavanaugh, my gunner, Sergeant Geller.
Hi,
It's
Dr.
pleasure,
Grove.
gentlemen, pleasure. Are any of you in need of medical assistance?
No, thanks. We're all okay. Just a little surprised to find anyone here.
Well, yes, of course. That can be explained to you later. But right now, you'll be wanting food and rest.
Hey, now, a little chow wouldn't be bad.
But first, we have to get in touch with our base. Give them our position.
Oh, of course, but such things take some time in these primitive areas.
Oh, we have a radio on the plane.
Did have, Skipper.
What?
I was just starting to tell you. It went out just before we sighted the island. Must have got wanged up in that storm.
Well, can you fix it?
Well, I suppose so, if it's nothing serious. I'll tell you better after I have a chance to look at it.
Of course, but in the meantime, I hope you'll accept our humble hospitality. We don't have the pleasure of entertaining new guests here often. It'll be good to chat with you all. If you'll follow me, please.
How about it, Skipper?
Sure. Why not? After the last half hour, we could all use a little relaxation.
Very good. Right this way, please.
I should have smelled it right then. There was something strange about the whole thing. There were a lot of questions in my mind, but somehow I didn't ask them. Instead, we walked down the jungle path behind Dr. Grove, like lambs to the slaughter. Tom Geller must have had the same misgivings because he whispered in my ear.
I don't get it, Skipper.
Don't get what, Tom?
Where do these guys come from? Where do they hang out? When we were coming in, I made sure to take a good look at this island. There were no houses, no nothing.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. Hey, stop it. Holy cow, will you look at that?
Dr. Grove stopped in front of what looked like a big rock. And then we saw it was expertly camouflaged cement with a sliding door.
There. Here we are, gentlemen. If you'll be good enough to enter.
Enter what? That?
Don't be alarmed. It's only an elevator.
An elevator? In this jungle? Now, what kind of monkey business is this, anyhow? Do you mean to tell me you live underground?
My dear Lieutenant, I'll be glad to explain everything later. It's all very simple. But first, I must insist that you enter the shaft.
So now you're insisting. And suppose we prefer not to step into your elevator, then what?
Then I should be compelled, most regretfully, to enforce my request.
Guess again, pal. We happen to be armed. A gun, 3 guns. See, that's one detail you overlooked.
I overlooked no details, Lieutenant. Would you be kind enough to fire your gun?
Watch yourself, Skipper. It's a trick. He wants you to shoot. The sound will bring help.
Wrong, my friend. I need no help. Very well. If you won't accept my invitation...
Wait a minute, keep your hand out of your pocket.
Perhaps you would care to stop me, Lieutenant?
Okay, if you asked for it. What the...
Hey, Lieutenant!
Try again, Lieutenant, but your gun will not work
Skipper,
on
he's
this
right.
island.
Mine
Neither
won't
will
work
mine.
either.
And now, perhaps you'll be kind enough to step into the shaft?
Look, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't want any part of it.
Neither do I.
Come on, gang. Let's get out of here.
Just a
said
minute.
it.
I'm sorry. You forced me to use harsh measures. Believe me, I do so reluctantly.
What's that you've got there?
Just a small tube, but a very potent weapon, I must warn you.
Yeah? Well, then you better use it fast. I made a desperate lunge for him, and suddenly... tiny shaft of light flicked out from the tube and touched me. And I stopped, frozen in my tracks. Conscious, my eyes open, seeing him, hearing him. But try as I would, I could not move a muscle. I was as if turned to stone. I was paralyzed, Dr. Gorham. Completely paralyzed. As if turned to stone. I had all my senses. I could see and hear and feel, but I couldn't move a muscle, not even turn my eyes.
And you say this happened because of some kind of light beam?
Well, not exactly a beam, sir. Perhaps not exactly light. Just a kind of radiance.
A gas, perhaps?
No, because it had no form, no odor, no taste. It was like becoming enmeshed in a web of moonbeams.
I see. And its only effect on you was to immobilize you.
Yes, that's right. It didn't burn or sting or cause pain in any way. I simply couldn't move. It was like a hypnotic trance.
And then?
Well, then some of Dr. Grove's companions came out of the elevator. They picked us up and carried us. I could feel their hands very softly, as if they were far away from my body, as if there were layers of rubber between them and me. I could hear Dr. Grove talking.
Place him in the shaft. Gently, please.
I could see him bending over me into my line of vision.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I sincerely regret having to inconvenience you. But you see, just as we have the means of hampering your primitive mechanical devices, your guns, your radio, so do we have the means to enforce our requests. Requests which are, I assure you, only reasonable and necessary under the circumstances. Very well. Take us down.
My head was reeling, and fear was growing in me. Who were these men to talk of radio as a primitive device? What kind of men were they? Where were they taking the three of us, and what were they going to do with us? As if he'd read my thoughts, Dr. Grove leaned over me again.
There's no need to be alarmed, Lieutenant. No need at all. All right. Gently. Carry them gently.
Well, Frater?
I'm sorry, Frater Dorden. It was necessary. They would not come willingly.
I see. A few of them do. Well, put them in the sleeping chambers until they recover. And be gentle. They are so frightened. Poor things.
Poor things. Poor things, he'd said. Not as if we were human beings at all, but animals. Some weak, dumb animals with whom they must be gentle. It was then that I began to know real fear. We were in a great underground city, but I could see little of it. Nothing except what passed in front of my rigid eyes. Then I was carried into a room, deposited upon a soft couch, and left alone. I could not close my eyes, but gradually the light began to fade, to melt away. I was in deep blackness, and I slept. I don't know whether the return of the light awakened me, or whether it came on automatically when I woke up. But the room was bright, and I could move again. I jumped up, tried the door, but of course it was locked, and there was no other way of escape. The room was a small cell with metal walls and ceiling, a kind of metal I'd never seen before. There was a cot, a desk, and a chair, and nothing else. But the really amazing thing was the light. I searched the entire room carefully, but there were no fixtures, no indirect lighting arrangements. The light came out of the walls, evenly filling the room, casting no shadows. Suddenly I wanted to see Kavanaugh and Geller. I yelled at the top of my lungs. But there was almost no sound, no echo from the walls. They simply absorbed the sound into utter silence. Then as I stood there, with fear cold in my stomach, I heard a faint sound, a footstep behind me. I whirled around just in time to see Dr. Grove stepping through the wall.
You said through the wall, Lieutenant. Of course you mean through the door.
Through the wall. Through the wall, sir. The door was in front of me, but Dr. Grove stepped into my cell through the solid metal wall.
You realize that what you're saying is impossible.
To us it is. To them nothing is impossible, nothing. That's why we must act, and act now before it's too late. You must believe me, sir. This is man's last chance.
I'll do my best. Perhaps you'd better continue. Now, this Dr. Grove stepped through the wall.
Yes. As I'll tell the rest as quickly as I can. I can see that you don't believe me. But someone must, somewhere, sometime, someone must.
Lieutenant!
Well, as I said, Dr. Grove stepped into my cell through the wall. Suddenly, my panic ended. I looked at him now with awe. And we talked, not as man to man, but as man to a lesser creature. Me.
You must not be frightened, Lieutenant. You do not understand how I passed through a wall which to you seemed solid. And not understanding, you feared.
But
Yet there is nothing supernatural or fearful about what I did. Any of us can do it at will. You see, there is no such thing as a solid in this world of relativity. We know that there is plenty of room for the molecules of our bodies to pass between the molecules of those walls. We simply make a necessary mental adjustment and walk where we will. It is an ability as basic to us as breathing to a person like you.
What kind of men are you?
You have been educated, studied Darwin. You know the facts of evolution. You know how man has progressed through various stages from the primitive savagery of the Neanderthal man.
Well, yes,
Obviously, this process can and will continue. To suppose that the evolution of man is complete with you is a mistake of conceit.
You mean you are the next stage?
Exactly. You have heard of the process of mutation, perhaps. How suddenly a white rose is produced of a family of red roses, and from then on produces only white descendants?
Yes.
So have we been evolved, as mutants, infinitely superior to our parents and our fellow men, knowing by instinct right from birth what you must study years to learn. Your most difficult physics and mathematics, our ABCs. Our studies far beyond your understanding.
Are there many of you?
Yes. You see, the process has been going on for many years. Hundreds, thousands more come to us every year from all over the world, drawn here by telepathic message, where we have isolation to study, learn, build, prepare ourselves.
Prepare? Prepare for what?
For the task ahead. Obviously, when we are ready, when we are numerous enough to fill all the necessary positions, our superior intelligence must shape a new world.
Take over the world?
Obviously.
And you will destroy man?
How little you understand us. Do you destroy the animals of the field because they are not your intellectual peers? Our obligation is to keep and protect you, to act as your friendly guardians in a world which will be strange to you and frightening, as my walking through the wall was frightening to you.
I see. Yes, I see. Then what is your plan?
Rather say, nature's plan. And the answer to that lies in history. What became of the anthropoids, the cavemen?
They died out. Civilization passed them by. They fell before the onrush of higher forms of life.
Even so. Even so. But I give you our pledge that we will be kind. We will be kind.
And then he took me out into that great underground city, through its corridors and great halls and laboratories and shops. Took me among the thousands of his fellow men. There I saw marvels of which I could talk for hours. There were... but they would be beyond your comprehension as they were beyond mine. You wouldn't believe me, and so I won't bother to tell you. Then I met others like us, some 200 captive cattle, people who had stumbled onto this island as I had. There were famous names among them. A famous author whose ship disappeared in the Pacific years ago. A big game hunter. A famous aviatrix for whom a dozen fleets had sought in vain. All of us, prisoners. We were treated with great kindness, made comfortable, relatively happy. We were their pets, you see. Their dumb animal pets. For over 3 years I stayed there. After a while I ceased to struggle. Even in my mind, I was defeated. And so I succumbed to the peaceful, bucolic existence that was my fate. At least that's what I thought. Then came that last day. Dr. Grove had made me his special pet. I was allowed to follow him about at his work, to talk to him at length. And on this day, he confided in me even more than usual.
Well, Lieutenant, it has been a pleasant day.
Yes, Doctor. Am I to go now?
Not for a moment. Ah, yes, I shall miss having you with me when I'm gone.
Gone? You're going away, sir?
Yes, very soon.
But where?
Out into the world, where you once lived.
But why?
Oh, there are many, very many of us there already. In strategic places, of course. An important politician here, an industrial magnate there, a famous author whose words are gospel to his readers. I will have my place, an important one.
But I didn't know. You didn't tell me that it's already begun.
Oh, yes, definitely. The hour is close at hand.
And then, all of us, the whole world.
Lieutenant, you know us now. You know that we will be kind.
Kind. Yes, kind. Suddenly all the anger that was in me welled up. I didn't want to be a dumb animal, a pet for some superior being to be kind to. I didn't want that for my loved ones, my friends, my fellow men. That night at dinner when they fed the prisoners in a big communal hall, I got a chance to talk to Kavanaugh, my old radio man. He listened and then shrugged hopelessly.
They'll succeed, Joe. You know that.
No, not if the world could be warned.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't make any difference. Besides, how could they be warned?
If somebody could get away from here.
Escape? That's impossible.
I know, that's what I thought. But listen, I've got an idea. There's one chink in their invincibility.
What?
Their gentleness, their kindness. They can't bear to hurt anyone. None of their weapons kill, but only paralyze temporarily. And they simply cannot conceive of treachery.
What are you driving at?
This. I'm going to play on Dr. Grove's liking for me, his kindness. And I'm going to trick him.
How?
Tomorrow I'll ask him to take me up above, back to the plane, to get pictures of my father and sister. Tell him I'm lonesome, suffering. He'll do it. I'm sure he will. It's very kind of you, Dr. Grove, to do this for me.
Oh, not at all, Lieutenant. I understand your feeling.
With you leaving, I'd have no one close. The pictures will make me feel a lot better.
Well, I only hope they're still here. The plane is partially demolished by the weather, as you can see.
Oh, they'll be there. They were in the map compartment. They'd be out of the weather.
Well, here we are.
Dr. Grove, look, over there.
Well,
Sorry, Doctor, but I had to do it. I hope I didn't kill him. He had been kind, but I hit him hard. Then I broke out a life raft from the rotting plane. I was almost afraid to look at it, but it was okay, even complete with supplies, 4 years old. I ripped the valve and threw it into the water. In 5 minutes, I was out beyond the breakers. I don't know how many days or weeks it was before they picked me up, but it was a long time. And I was more dead than alive.
Yes, Lieutenant, you were in bad shape. It was a horrible experience.
But you see, it doesn't matter about me. It's the others that... You don't believe me either, do you?
Well, Lieutenant, it's been a pleasure to listen to your story. I'll make a report to my superiors. Please be patient and try not to worry.
Try not to worry.
Good day, Lieutenant.
Get out. Get out, sir.
Oh, there, Commander Gorham. You've talked to him? What's the verdict?
A clear case of persecution mania. An amazing form. I've never heard a tale more complete and logical, but
Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, do what you can for him. I'm afraid he's going to be here for a long time. Perhaps for as long as he lives. Turned loose, he might be dangerous.
That's too bad. Nice boy, too. But floating for 4 weeks on a life raft and heaven knows what before that, it sure does things to a man. Well, Doctor, how about lunch?
No, thanks. I've got to run along. I have to turn in my report and recommendation on this case.
Oh, of course. Well, I'll see you later.
I watched the man disappear down the hall. I stood there for a moment lost in thought, seeing the face of that boy in there. It was hard to know how best to be kind to a boy like that, but I roused myself. I had much to do. So much. And if I went down through the lobby of the hospital, some fool would surely delay me, get me into a long-winded discussion, and I didn't feel a bit like talking. I wanted to get out of this place and forward my report that this Brady case was closed, that there'd be no more trouble from this source. My car was just outside on the street. There was no one in sight in the corridor, so I turned and quietly walked walked through the wall.
This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Okay, well, that was Escape with Conqueror's Isle, a story where survival meant more than braving the sea and storm. It meant facing a future where labor wasn't done by men, but to them. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be the one holding the shovel than the one eating out of the dog dish. For our next story, we leave the world of underground utopias and return to something a bit more familiar. Good, old-fashioned, hard work. On April 15, 1936, Cavalcade of America brought us railroad builders. It tells of the men who laid the steel tracks against a rugged land. They connected the East to the West and forever changed America. They didn't have telepathy, but they did have pickaxes, nitroglycerin, and a stubborn refusal to quit. Now that's labor worth celebrating. One thing to keep in mind while listening to this one is that it was created in 1936. Only 60 years had passed. For us today, these events took place more than 150 years ago.
DuPont presents the Cavalcade of America. As the American cavalcade passes in review, we realize again the tremendous part played by the railroad in the building of America. But back of the railroads were men, dreamers, planners, doers, the men who helped open up the country, made it accessible to millions, bridged its rivers, tunneled its mountains, conquered its deserts. Men whom nothing could daunt in the performance of their prodigious tasks. On a June morning in 1855, we find two people in the Berkshire Mountains of Massachusetts, following the ancient Mohawk Trail, worn smooth by generations of silent, moccasined feet. Herman Haupt and his young wife.
Oh, Herman, dear, I'm almost exhausted. Oh, couldn't we rest for a few minutes?
Oh, not now, Liebchen. Why, we're almost at the summit. Come along.
Oh, my feet are so sore. Why did I ever insist on coming on this terrible journey?
Now, be brave. You'll be rewarded very soon. When you see that view, all your soreness will be forgotten. Oh, wait, stop, Liebchen.
What is it now?
I think this is the place. Close your eyes. Tight.
They are closed tight.
Now, give me your hand. But don't open your eyes until I tell you. Promise.
I might as well.
Good. Now, this way. A few steps more. Wait till I push this little tree out of the way. Now, open.
Herman.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've never seen anything so lovely in all my life. Oh, those blue hills away over there.
They are on the far side of the Hudson River, Liebchen. That is Albany through there.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And yet this beautiful Hoosac Mountain where we are standing is like a great iron gate shut against the further growth of Boston.
Well, how do you mean, Herman?
See, the blue becomes very faint and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond there is the Mohawk Valley, a great natural highway to the west. Down it rolls all the produce of the farms, the trade and commerce of Ohio, Indiana, Iowa.
Oh.
But what happens when this great flood of goods reaches the Hudson? I tell you, instead of coming straight on east, a good part of it is deflected by this mountain and goes down the river to New York.
Can't anything be done about it?
That is why we are here. Something can be done, and your husband hopes to be the man to do it. I am going to build a railroad tunnel as straight as a die, 3-4 miles long, right beneath where we are standing.
Through all this terrible rock? Under this mountain?
Yes, my dear. It will be the most difficult piece of engineering ever attempted. For no one has ever driven a long tunnel through hard rock before. But I think I can do it.
Herman Haupt's dream becomes a reality. The construction of the bore begins. Years of disappointment and discouragement follow. Incredible bad luck dogs the undertaking. Heartbreaking, time-consuming obstacles are met. In 1862, under the Golden Dome of Massachusetts capital, the state railway commissioners interview an energetic, wary engineer named Thomas Doane.
Mr. Doane, work on the Hoosac Tunnel has now been stopped for over a year.
I know it, sir. Herman Houghton and his company did a good job with the tools he had to work with. He didn't quit. He was called away to a government position. No man could have done much better. But that Hoosac nightmare is too big for any single man or any single company to handle.
Exactly what we've all decided, Doane. But the tunnel must be finished. It now involves the honor, the reputation of Massachusetts.
And just how do you propose to finish it, Mr. Commissioner?
The state will finance the work. And we hope you will accept the position of chief engineer.
You flatter me, sir.
Will you do the job, Doane? Can you do the job? Can any man do the job?
It can be done, gentlemen. But it will take practically unlimited capital and unlimited time, unless...
Unless what?
Unless a more practical, efficient mechanical drill can be invented than any now in use. And unless some better blasting agent than black powder can be developed. This job isn't only a question of men, gentlemen. It's a question of men and tools.
Nonetheless, I feel we are to be congratulated on one thing. At least we have found the man. What do you say, gentlemen?
Indeed, we have.
It is the summer of 1865, 3 years later. A vertical shaft has been 1,200 feet down to the heart of the mountain, and now work is proceeding simultaneously from 4 points. The east and west bores and both ways from the central shaft. One day, as the men were about to stop work,
These blame drills ain't worth shucks, Ezra. I don't know why we go on using them.
'Cause, bad as they are, they're downside better than hand drilling. Mine's got to go to the blacksmith shop again. It'll be years before they finish this tunnel if they have to stick to these.
Yeah, what's the trouble, Ezra?
Oh, another drill gone to its last reward, Mr. Doane.
Well, you're just in time to see an experiment, boys. Call the others round. We'll see if we haven't got something that's going to help us.
Sure. Hey, boys, come on over this way.
All right, Mr. Burley. We'll let you make your demonstration here. The severest critic you'll ever have, all around you.
Just the ones I want to convince, Mr. Doane.
All right, boys. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
This is Mr. Burley. He says he's perfected a compressed air drill that is more efficient and more economical than the ones we've been using.
Well, it couldn't be worse.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. All right, Mr. Burley. There's a big piece of rock there. Suppose you start on that.
All right, Mr. Doane. Is the air pressure on?
All ready back there?
All right, sir. All right, here.
Yes, it's on.
All right. Here goes.
Where?
Look at that. Hey, look at that. Goes right on through that. Want to see any more, Mr. Doane?
No, I am satisfied, Mr. Burley. This is 5 times faster than any drill I've ever seen or heard of. Why, this drill will cut our work in half.
Sure will. Let's see that, Mr. Doane.
Now, if we could only find something that had more punch to it than black powder, we might get this tunnel finished before it finishes us.
the Deerfield River is dammed. New steam plants erected to compress the air for drills that have been perfected to combat the granite of the Hoosac Tunnel. The gangs fall to with new heart, but still the work progresses with discouraging slowness, and the rock faces are moved back only 2, 3, 3.5 feet a day. And then, some months later, Doane, the commissioners, engineers, gather at the tunnel's mouth to observe another engineering triumph.
Well, I tell it about ready, Mr. Doane.
Well, waiting. All right, steady all now. We ought to hear it any second. And if it does all I hope for it, well, it'll be the grandest anthem I'll ever hear.
Oh,
He's coming.
How do you know, Ezra?
Oh, get mighty sensitive working in a tunnel. Kind of psychic, you know. Listen.
No, wait a minute, gentlemen. Don't go in there yet. The fumes are bad.
Mr. Jones! Mr. Jones!
Yes? How is it?
Does it work? Work! We reckon it does work. Why, that one shot has done more in 1 second than the whole drilling gang could do in a week.
Nitroglycerin was first used in a major engineering work on the Hoosac Tunnel. And with its use, the problem of the great shaft underneath the Berkshire Hills was solved. On November 27, 1873, the east and west gangs holed through with only 3/4 of an inch difference in their center line. And one cold day in 1875, a small knot of men stood by a railway locomotive near the tunnel's mouth. Her brass was gleaming, her driving gear as clean as a houndstooth.
Well, yes, we're all ready, gentlemen. Might as well climb aboard.
Just a minute, Don. Who's going to have the honor of driving the first train through?
Why, old Bill up there in the cab, I suppose.
Well, I think that the commissioners will have a word or two to say about that. Am I right, gentlemen? Tom Jones, this job took 19 years in the doing. It's done. And if there's one man who deserves the credit, it's yourself.
Absolutely.
Hey, Bill.
What is it, sir?
Get over there with your fireman. Mr. Doan is going to take the drop.
Why, Mr. Commissioner.
Go on, Tom. Get up there.
All right.
All aboard, the rest of you.
All aboard! Train going west for Albany, Buffalo, Chicago, Salt Lake City, and California.
The willingness to tackle any job, however big, the technical skill to master it, the stubborn determination to see it through, no matter what the obstacles. These qualities built the tunnel under the Berkshires. The Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont, also shows how these same qualities helped conquer the greatest barrier of all, the Rockies. In the year 1862, President Abraham Lincoln approved a bond issue to finance the building of the first transcontinental railroad and urged land grants to serve as an incentive to its speedier completion. 2 companies are formed to undertake the gigantic task. The Union Pacific working from the east, the Central Pacific from the west. January of 1863 sees preparations made at Sacramento for turning the first sod in the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. On the outskirts of the town, a crowd is gathering as Leland Sanford and Collis P. Huntington step forward to turn the first shovelful of earth in the great undertaking.
Well, this crowd's feeling mighty gay, Huntington.
Yes. Yes, I expect there'll be a grand bust in town tonight.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't arrange for fireworks and a band. These folks are counting on a jubilation.
If you want to jubilate on turning the first sod here, Stant, you can go ahead and do it. I don't. Those mountains look too ugly. And there are going to be too many months of hard labor between the first sod and the last spike. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, sir.
Spade ready?
Here it is, sir. All fancied up with ribbons.
Well, give it to me. Well, Stanford, here goes. We start the great adventure.
Take it a good one, mister.
Got a long way to go, friend.
All together.
All right, Kelly. There it is. Now get your men to work.
But, Mr. Huntington, sir, don't we knock off and hold a jamboree?
We do not. We start to build the Central Pacific Railroad.
The Central Pacific started at Sacramento, while on the other side of the Rockies in Nebraska, we find in the summer of 1866, the great drive to shove the iron rails westward has begun in earnest. In 12 months, General Dodge laid 587 miles of track on the Union Pacific. Spring of 1867, and an army of 10,000 is spread in a long, thin line across the plain, digging, hauling, spiking, sweating.
All right there. Steady, so. Come on, you bully boys. Get them rails off. Take it on the run now. Come on. All right, men. Tie crews ahead. Rails next. Gauges, spike it, follow. Go to it now. Lay 'em and spike 'em. Come on, men. All right, now get your backs into it, my buckaroos. Lay to like you meant it. Hey, you're off. The super somewhere by the coal shed. All right, Jarson. Hey, you devils. Keep moving till I get back now. Don't worry, Pat. We won't let you down. Morning, O'Rourke. Hey, good morning, sir. How are things going? 2.3 miles spike this morning. Not enough. Any complaints? Are they feeding your supplies all right? Oh, fair enough. Them hardwood ties is raising old Nick with a pickaxe point, so. All right, put 2 more men in the blacksmith. Yes, sir. We've got to keep moving, O'Rourke. The CP outfit are halfway through the Sierras. Once they hit the foothills on this side, it's going to be a race to see who'll get the biggest land grab. We'll lick the stuffing out of them first. Well, see that we do, O'Rourke. But you'll have to lay 6 miles a day to do it.
In the passes of the Sierra Nevadas, in the spring of 1868, an advanced engineers' headquarters of the Central Pacific, a young engineer enters the room where his chief is closeted with Collis P. Huntington.
Well, hello. What brings you up here, young fellow?
Bad news, sir. Slide in Headache Gulch this morning. Wiped out 5 miles of grade completely. Why no one was killed is a thumping mystery.
How did it start, Steve?
Oh, this last thaw. The snow started moving and that rotten rock came sliding after.
Doesn't matter much what caused it. The important thing is, how bad is it?
Tracks are covered 25 feet in some places, Huntington. It sure is a pretty mess.
Sounds like it. Oh, the UP got the brakes on this job. Well, what do you men say?
Part of the game, that's all. We've had something of this sort coming to us. Things weren't marching too pretty. Sir?
Yes. Grab a horse and go up the line. Tell every foreman to keep only a skeleton crew. Send the rest of his gang back here. Each man brings his shovel. Tell McGonaghy to get that steam scoop of his turned around somewhere and get his baby back down the track. Beat it.
Right, Chief.
Pick up as many men as you can and start working from the other end. Oh, and get a horse trail through as soon as possible. See that telegraph line's repaired at once. I'll take care of things at this end. Right, Chief. And if these mountains think they can lick us, they've got another thing coming. Come on, Mr. Huntington. This is going to need us all.
Each day sees the narrow threads of iron move closer as the rival gangs cross the state of Utah. The entire country becomes interested in the race between the Central Pacific and the Union Pacific. North, south, east, and west. It is the topic of the day. In a San Francisco club.
Oh, Mr. Sanford, what's the latest news? 6 3/4 miles yesterday. Better than the UP has done to date.
Holy smoke, man. How do you do it?
Don't have to do a thing, my friend. The men have got the bit in their teeth now and are just beginning to make things hum.
Park Row, New York. Crowds waiting outside the newspaper offices 2 weeks later.
Getting on to 11. They ought to have the report here soon.
Or perhaps they've decided to work all night, John.
They might have that, Margaret. The way they've been making the dirt fly these last few days.
Yeah. Well, say, John, look. Look, there's a man climbing up onto the balcony of the post building.
So there is.
I hope we can hear.
Quiet! Dispatch from head of rail from the west. Central Pacific lays 8 4/6 miles. Quiet! Union Pacific shatters record for all time by laying, spiking, and completing 10 2/5 miles in a single day.
And in Washington, D.C.
But do you realize what is going to happen, Mr. Secretary? Neither of the railroad companies have received any orders to stop. And each of them, sir, has every intention of going on building indefinitely.
You don't tell me.
Oh, I do tell you, sir. Now, this is no laughing matter. This is serious. These two companies are building alongside each other. They won't stop until the CP is at the Atlantic and the UP at the Pacific.
It isn't as bad as that, my friend. As a matter of fact, they've made their decision already. I've recently heard from General Dodge of the Union Pacific, and he says, we have made an agreement to join the tracks on the summit of Promontory Mountain near the Great Salt Lake in Utah. All that we need is to have the agreement ratified by Congress.
That will be simple, Mr. Secretary. Congress will be glad the matter is settled. I only wish I could be present at the wedding of the rails at Promontory Point. Promontory Point, May 8, 1869. Hundreds crowd around two gleaming, wood-burning locomotives, facing each other across a few yards of open ground, where the last rails are to be laid and the gold and silver spikes driven. Indians in bright blankets, distinguished guests in frock coats and top hats, frontiersmen, miners, engineers, foremen, laborers.
Make way, please. Make way. We need room here for the telegraph instrument. Step aside, please. All right. Set your key up here.
Yes, sir.
You won't be in the way and you can see everything.
Oh, this is fine.
Circuit open?
Half a jiffy. All right, we're all set.
All right, send this message to everybody on circuit. Keep quiet. When the last spike is driven, we will signal done. Don't break the circuit. The last spike will soon be driven. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Durant?
Yes?
Are you ready, sir?
Quite ready.
Mr. Stanford?
Ready and waiting.
Very good, gentlemen. Will you step forward, please? Will you take this hammer, Mr. Durant? I believe you are to administer the first blow. This, sir, is the spike.
I hope I hit it.
There you are. Send the message. Done.
The entire nation, from one end to the other, in cities and towns and villages, hailed the wedding of the rails. Initiative, courage, and indomitable determination had marked the great undertaking from its beginning. And when the two old-fashioned locomotives touched cowcatchers to prove that East and West were one, the people of America paid joyous tribute to both the accomplishment and the men who had seen it through.
We have just had a vivid picture of the importance of explosives to great engineering projects. More than that, we saw that an explosive, like any other tool, should be suited to the job it is called on to perform in order to secure efficiency and economy. This is illustrated by a modern achievement in tunnel driving, the Cascade Tunnel, sometimes called the Great Northern Tunnel or the Scenic Tunnel, completed about 8 years ago. Men bored through the solid granite of the Cascade Mountains in the state of Washington to make this straight and easy path for Great Northern trains. It sounds easy now, but it was far from easy to build. Day and night, 3 shifts of workers drilled, blasted, and carried away rock deep in the heart of the mountain range. The regular schedule called for 5 blasts each day. Each blast took a little less than 5 hours for drilling, loading, and waiting for the smoke to clear. One interesting feature of the engineering, common also to other big modern tunnel jobs, was the use of a pioneer tunnel, a separate boring about 7 feet high and 10 feet wide, running parallel to the main tunnel about 50 feet to one side and about 4 feet lower. This pioneer tunnel had several important functions. It was connected with the main tunnel and was used to drain away water, for ventilating, and for carrying in explosives. Since progress on the smaller tunnel was faster, it was possible to drill up to the level of the main tunnel and work in both directions at the same time. From the Earth's surface along the route of the tunnel, a shaft was sunk so as to permit attack on the main tunnel at 4 different points. DuPont explosives were used exclusively on the Cascade Tunnel. And so it stands as a monument, not only to the engineers and their men, but also to in their laboratories, in fulfillment of the DuPont chemist's pledge, better things for better living through chemistry.
And there you have it. 2 very different takes on the idea of labor. First, 3 Navy flyers trapped as unwilling guests in a futuristic underground world. Then the railroaders who carved pathways across America's wilderness with nothing but grit and steel. But that's the beauty of Labor Day, isn't it? It reminds us of the people behind the progress, whether they were building the rails, digging the coal, or maybe just inventing amazing stories for us. So as you reflect on this holiday, take a moment to tip your hat or your burger to the countless men and women whose work built, defended, and advanced our world. Thank you for listening to Ron's Amazing Stories. I hope you enjoyed this Labor Day double feature. Next week, we'll be back with more tales from the golden age of radio. Until then, keep your imaginations alive, and remember, if someone ever offers you a free elevator ride on a mysterious island, maybe think twice before stepping inside. Okay, I'll admit it, we ran a bit short today, and now I have to come up with a bit of filler. Normally, I'd like to talk about the series that we listen to anyway, so let me fill you in. Our first story came from Escape. It was one of radio's great adventure series. It ran on CBS from 1947 to 1954, and then made a few short comebacks in the late 50s. The network always promoted it as radio's finest hour of high adventure, and they weren't exaggerating. Every week, Escape promised to take you away from the everyday, and most of the time it delivered. Jungle expeditions, sea voyages, survival against impossible odds. You never quite knew where you'd end up. And in tonight's story, we ended up in a very strange place indeed. Our second feature came from the Cavalcade of America, which was one of the longest-running dramatic series in radio history. Sponsored by DuPont, it aired from 1935 all the way into the early 50s. The program dramatized real events and honored the American spirit of innovation and hard work. What better way to mark Labor Day than with a story from them? Now, speaking of Labor Day, I have to confess that I've always loved this holiday, but not just for the picnics. When I was a kid, it usually meant the end of summer chores. For me, that meant mowing the lawn or picking weeds. My dad was a nut about them. I'd celebrate Labor Day by not mowing a single blade of grass. And let me tell you, that is about the best gift a kid could ask for. That was episode number 704, and it was brought to you by Audible. Head to audibletrial.com/Ron's Amazing Stories and get a free audiobook today. You help the show if you do. Thank you, Audible. If you want to follow the podcast or the blog, head to ronsamazingstories.com. There you will find any of the links that I mentioned and how to contact us. Do you want to help the show? The best thing you can do is to tell your friends all about us and leave reviews and comments wherever you listen. Clicking that follow or like button helps us grow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come again to find out what are Ron's Amazing Stories.
All of the vintage audio used in the podcast is believed to be in the public domain. Ron's Amazing Stories does not own the rights to any of the old-time radio used here. If you hold the rights to any of the shows played, please contact us immediately at ronsamazingstories.com.